All right, I think it's 6:30. Thanks everybody for coming. We'll call the meeting to order, and if y'all will, bear with me, bow with me, we'll have a word of prayer. Dear Heavenly Father, thank you for this day, Lord. Thank you for the many blessings that you brought to us, Lord, not only this day, but every day, Lord. Thank you for those that are here tonight, Lord, and have an interest in this town, Lord. We appreciate that interest. And Lord, as we come to the table tonight to conduct the town's business, Lord, let us always be thinking of you and be mindful of you. And Lord, let our decisions be those same decisions that will be pleasing to you. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Pledge of allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, thank you very much. All right, I'm gonna make a run at reading the minutes here. We'll see how good I do. The Altamont Town Council met in regular session on Monday, February 2nd at 6:30 at the Town Hall. Attending the meeting were Mayor Pro Tem Jack Gilbert, Council members Ronald Chris, Tony Mims, and Tanny Pressel. Mayor Pro Tem Gilbert called the meeting to order and led in prayer, following the Pledge of Allegiance to the American flag. Minutes of the January 20th, 2026 meeting were read by the clerk. A motion to approve the minutes as read was made by Councilman Mims and seconded by Councilwoman Presnell. Motion carried unanimously. A motion was made to suspend the rules of order by Councilman Chris and seconded by Councilman Mims. Motion carried unanimously. John Bob Witt was in attendance to discuss concerns he had at the park. His questions centered on a town contractor, Ray Akins, his job duties, the way he was hired, his outside organization, not associated with the town, etc. Mr. Witt also questioned live streaming the council meetings. Mayor Pro Tem Gilbert thanked Mr. Witt for coming, and he left. Town citizen Nicole Collins was in attendance and indicated the streaming of meetings has been brought up, and she said it is divided. Town citizen Charles Christensen was in attendance, and he commented on the beautification board and their work on the Valentine's Day decorations. Town citizen and beautification board chair Amy Christopher was in attendance and wanted to thank the town for the place they were given to store Christmas decorations and other things for the beautification committee. Mr. Christopher also thanked the fire department for assistance. Ms. Christopher, I'm sorry. Fire department for their assistance they provided. The beautification committee, she indicated, just showed up without being asked. A motion was made to come back in session by Councilman Chris and seconded by Councilwoman Presnell. Motion carried unanimously. Old business. Councilman Chris said the roof at the warehouse roofing material must be 40 degrees and stay 40 degrees when applying. Joe D. Wilson was in attendance to discuss the progress on the Kleiner building. She's getting estimates on the garage doors and is working with Justin for air conditioning units. New business. A motion was made to approve the event permit for the Altamont High School Athletic Family Night by Councilwoman Presnell and seconded by Councilman Mims. Motion carried unanimously. A motion was made to approve the Dixie Waste Disposal proposal of $12,345 for the work at the tennis courts by Councilman Chris and seconded by Councilwoman Presnell. Motion carried unanimously. With no further business to discuss, a motion to adjourn was made by Councilman Chris and seconded by Councilman Mims. Motion carried unanimously. The meeting adjourned. Any additions or corrections to the minutes?
I move we approve them.
Do we have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries.
All for a motion.
The motion to suspend the rules?
Yes. Second.
Yes, seconded by. All right. All in favor? All right, I've got a list here. I've got everybody on it, so we'll try to pick up anybody that we missed. Oh, thank you. We'll start out with Ms. Wingard, Ms. Tillery, Corey and Jody. We got business with y'all. We may hold y'all till we just get back into the session, if that's okay. Ms. Chris, John Witt.
And y'all got the packet, yeah, there's some things I wanted to hit on. By the way, the old tennis court looks awesome now. Appreciate y'all getting that down, getting taken care of. That's clean, it looks great. Monday I went with Don over to West Limestone. I know this, I brought this up before, I kinda want to get back on the radar. It's been discussed several times about an indoor facility on town property there, maybe where the old tennis court was. Well, Brian showed me around West Limestone Monday morning, and jump right to it here. The expense wasn't but $135,000, about 50 by 100 foot structure. 2 hitting and pitching lanes, 2 restrooms, just like plumbing in it. And they have security cameras inside, and they started a 501c3, the Wildcat Diamond Club, to do this. Now, I don't think Elkmont has to do that because we've got the foundations and there's more than enough money there to fund that. In addition, whatever town funds are there. They did have a lot of donations. Well, Don himself donated 25 loads of dirt. They had a daddy that went out there to do the electricity. I talked to the principal, talked to the baseball coach, talked to the football coach, kind of what they see the need to be. And I'd like to go a step further than West Limestone, which is why I put the picture on there on the front page. You got, and the West Limestone doesn't have this. You can have retractable hitting cages that come up, and then come fall, and bad weather football goes in there. And if it's nothing but 100 by 100 feet, thrust 30 by 30 yards, and you're not going to work on kickoffs and punts, but you can go inside. Plus, there's no conflict with volleyball or anybody else using the gym in the fall. And I remind you, our volleyball team was one of only 8 teams in the state that went to the Elite 8. One of only 3 teams in the state that were public school, the other 5 were private. So I'm looking at volleyball trying to win a state championship this year. You know, we don't want anybody interfering with their preparation, but the main thing here, I think this could be a one-of-a-kind in the county. Indoor football, all-purpose hitting, pitching facility. And something Mr. Adderholt mentioned is to prevent conflict, you have 3 lanes, baseball, softball, youth league. Now, West has 2 pitching and hitting lanes. We can have at least 3 if we up the size of the structure. Plus, like I said, it's retractable. Real quick, this is the foundation's charter, page 2.
Hey, the West Limestone facility, is that at the school? Is that the school's facility, or is that?
It's
the
the town, it's right across the street from the school.
Okay, so that's the
It's
summer
private.
program?
Yeah, they don't have to fool with Steve Wallace, the board, the superintendent, none of that, because it's in town. And plus, you don't have to have the architect and all that kind of stuff. I'm sure y'all probably all know that.
Yes.
The next page, the 4990 for the foundations. You know, we got nearly $500,000 in assets, 300,000 of it. I won't say is available. You can touch it right now. Okay. And like I said, you don't have to add about 20, 30,000. They had theirs built in 2020. I think that's before the loan went through the roof. So you know, you're looking at probably a $200,000 deal now, just for the foundations of the town and donations. The next page has got where a grant, I guess for special playground equipment for the elementary school was approved. That's $170,000. $55,000 of it is revenue. So I don't see where you couldn't justify spending that as a ground piece for turf in an indoor facility. And I like to know, they're supposed to start these turf fields across the county. I thought in January, I don't know if they've even built them out yet, but I like to get the same turf in that indoor facility that's gonna be on the football field. The last page, I got a question on this. The top expense, I guess foundation spent around $54,000. It says $30,000 repairs and maintenance. Does the foundation's own the facility? That's the last page in that Form 990. Last page of your packet. Repairs and maintenance. What's that repair and maintenance of?
I have no idea.
Me either.
I said, I would think Savannah would be on board, Ron would be on board, Jackie would be on board. I can't think of anybody on the foundation's director, board, or officer that wouldn't be on board. There's a lot of money in there, and it's, the foundation started to benefit these kids and community. I think it should be spent.
Well, the foundation money goes to $10,000 worth of grants per year to the schools. It's given out over $100,000 in its lifetime.
Sure.
Just gave out $10,000 again this year.
Right. Yeah, I've got the itemized list from the school.
It's actually in the charter, it's not for sports.
In Elkmont's charter?
It's in the foundation.
I'm gonna read straight from it. The corporation is organized exclusively for charitable, religious, education, scientific purposes, including for purposes of the making of distributions of organizations that qualify as exempt organizations under section 501c3 of the Internal Revenue Code or corresponding section of any future federal tax code. So of the $50,000 spent last year in the foundations, yeah, $10,000 I think was spent on school supplies, $2,000 or $3,000 on scholarship stuff. But the $29,000 says repairs and maintenance. I don't know what they do. Something there, $21,000 about concessions. I'm not questioning anybody spending money on it. I'm just curious because the money's in there. Last 2 years, they spent $20,000 on concessions. I don't know if that's for one sport, the whole school. These are all public documents, anybody can get these.
Yeah, I say go talk to them and see.
I'm trying to help the kids in the school and community, that's the whole point. The money's there, we should use it.
Whose money is it? I mean, was it all donations, that, the foundation
It
money?
gets, I may not have these numbers exact, it's something between $3,000 and $5,000 a month in money donated through your utility bill. And then the interest off the core money, those two together make the $10,000 that we give
Yearly?
yearly for teacher grants.
Okay.
So I think it's 4 $1,000 grants and then the rest are $350 grants.
The last thing on this page says supplies, and this is what's given to the schools, 11,600, scholarships 3,000, all other expenses 4,800, repairs, maintenance 29,800. So total expense 53,000. The reason I ask about the maintenance is that can be cut or somehow reduced. You can put more money toward these programs. I don't know what that expense is, but I do know 21,000 was concessions. I don't know for who, maybe they need it. But bottom line, the money's there. It's there to help the kids. I think we should, in whatever way.
All right, thank you very
Thank
much.
you.
Appreciate that. All right, we'll move on. Mr. Christensen? There you are. I should know you're in your regular seat.
I'm over here.
All right, thank you. All right, let's see, Morgan.
I am very tickled about the work y'all are doing up there around the tennis courts.
Oh, it took a little while.
We rode up there and looked at it, it's really, really great. My next question is, I know Jack had told me you had a call about the lights. When are we gonna get the lights around the equipment up there, because baseball and softball is about to start, and that place is gonna be booming, kids everywhere.
All right, the light, someone mentioned that you just don't stick a light up anywhere because the people playing sports, when you go up to catch a ball, that light's not.
Yeah.
And so I haven't done anything on it because I didn't know, that's kinda out of my,
Well, don't we just need to
Area.
get them repaired? There's 4 light poles in the park, 3 in the park, 1 in the parking lot.
But there's not any around the playground equipment where the kids are.
Actually, there are. It's right there at the playground equipment on the east side of the playground equipment. Then the other one's kind of the west side of the, what I call the concession stand, although it's still a concession stand, but it has the meeting room in it now. It's much larger. And then one is on down kind of back toward the old tennis court. And then one's in the parking lot. But there's 4, they're wooden poles. I mean, they're not
Yeah, it's not.
nice
That's all
or
it.
anything, and they're only 10 or 12 foot high.
If you go up there right now to that playground equipment, you cannot see. It's dark.
I don't doubt that, but the city, I don't know that they're gonna wanna come and put a light up that doesn't stay on all night long. They get, are they gonna put us up one with an on-off switch on it? All theirs have electric eyes, all these street lights burning around town, they burn all night, and they get paid for them. So that's where I didn't know how that would be handled. The concession stand's pretty close. Could you put a pole outside there and put a light that would shine on that equipment and on-off switch in the concession stand? I don't know where to go. I don't,
With the ballparks lit up one or more, you can see okay. It's when you turn all the lights off.
That's what
Yeah,
people.
you turn the lights off, even those lights that are on the poles you're speaking of, they actually will dim nighttime set too. So there is shadows across that area. And I understand exactly what Ms. Margo's saying, but if we turn one of those fields on, like when they're practicing or when they're playing, it lights up well, but you don't, a lot of times if you're finishing right now with practice, a lot of these guys, they just leave, they start getting dark, they leave, and kids are over there playing in the dust.
Well, if you're on that backfield practicing and your siblings are on the playground equipment,
Yeah.
they're in the dark. If you're on field 1 and field 2's not lit up and they're playing on the playground equipment, they're in the dark. So unless field 2 is lit up, they're in the dark.
The things that Ronald mentioned, there are different lights available now. Then we've got those LEDs and stuff like that. You might could change bulbs on something that's up there and get enough light.
In direction.
Yeah, I mean, the summer program did all
Yeah, I
that.
think a couple of those
That's it.
poles, especially the one by the sidewalk that's as you walk up to the left, I think if that just turned that way, with a bigger LED or a bigger light, that would help that whole area.
I mean, we've always left this to the summer program to come tell us what they needed, so I don't think we're gonna be able to figure out what the park needs.
Well, that's what I mean, nobody's ever complained, or you complained in the 20 years that I've been here.
Yeah, but see, that's the thing, what he's talking about, we all used to do that when we were on the board. Well, our kids got grown, and the board now doesn't do the maintenance up there like we used to do.
Well, I've heard that.
Well, the
We
new
need to
board
do
is,
about
the new board has been
25%
voted in, and actually you got four of us from the new board right now. But prior to us, still can't find bylaws, still can't get paperwork, I mean, Corey he can vouch for me too. That's my whole point, and that's the reason I'm here again, because again, my name and Fearless came up. Well, I've got coaches, Pastor couldn't be here, I have a situation with family, Pastor Allen's here, he's one of my coaches. Caleb's my 8U coach. Chris Carter is my 6U coach. I'm the 11, 12-year-old coach. All of our program, Miss Margot's up there today with their grandkids. All of our program compared to everything else around Elkmont, all you need is an insurance paper and Elkmont kids on it, and they'll come be able to eligible to use the field. With us, there's no adult that can be around the kids without going through a background check and getting a badge. And if you don't have a badge, you're not allowed in the field. Anybody that's been there can verify. With us, we're a different program, and hopefully as we're going through upgrading and dealing with the stuff with the Elkmont Youth League, we're bringing it back up to what it used to be, because I've heard stories of how people spend time on the field, things prettied up, things readjusted. That's now starting.
We used to stand there all the time. working
Yeah,
on the field.
three of us were out in the rain yesterday doing field 3 because the grass had grown, but we've been using field 1 and 2 for the practices, so we'd actually kind of put some red brick on it and drug it to keep it up for the practices for the kids, the tournament teams, all those guys and girls that come up there.
Ain't gonna try to get the fourth one where the old pool was going.
Right,
This fall for next year.
what that was is whoever tried to pretty it up, cut it downward, and when it cut down, it's folding, it has nothing to do with the pool. I talked to some people that work the ground, came and looked at it. We just need to clean that up, put that red dirt clay back up just higher than the edges they've already cleared. It'll be beautiful.
If we could just check, I don't care if it's just putting brighter bulbs or what.
Well, is that a Chris Smith job? I mean,
If it's on the poles that Ronald's talking about, probably Chris can do it. If it's something, if we wanna set a tall pole, and like you say, that's Athens Utilities.
yeah,
But I would leave it to the board members here to come make a recommendation to
figure
us
out what
on
they want.
what they want, make sure we don't accidentally go up there and shine a light in people's eyes.
Yeah.
Well, we've already started a lot of that too. So that's things that's been brought up now, and we're starting to move forward. Ms. Margot's got a good point. We've all brought it up as, and
Yeah.
they can vouch for me, not just me saying it, but you've got board members here saying the same thing, that we understand, just like the circumstances of the fields or anything around it. Here shortly, starting this week, remember, the youth take over that park. They've got it until about the end of May.
You can also buy those solar powered LED street lights.
I've seen those too.
I mean, so
See them on Amazon.
it wouldn't come, be using actual power from the city or.
Well, it gives you more
anywhere. It's all
flexibility of
solar.
putting them up quicker and easier.
Hey,
to do, so-
one thing to consider, the right field of field 4 isn't long enough. It doesn't meet the requirements. At the time I was up there with DD, but the reason it didn't is because the tennis court was there. Now that we got the tennis court out of the way, we could tear that last section of tall fence down and actually extend the right, I think it's 7 feet, but that's from memory, so that may not be
Yeah,
right.
I think it's about 10 foot short if I remember right.
Yeah, we could add that, and then you could have a regulation game on that field if you
Yeah.
were hosting a tournament back in the day.
So we're
Yeah,
7
last year
feet
you put the
away.
little ones on it.
Because of,
Yeah, I
something
mean, we
like
used it
that.
for a D-League field last year, so I mean.
Yeah.
I talked to Danny Crawford Tuesday of last week, and he's gonna check about getting some scoreboards and trying to help out some stuff, so when I hear back from him, I'll. talk
Yeah, I
to
mean,
him
we're,
about that.
we're supportive, we just don't, we're not the experts of what to do, and Margot's right, I know, because I know the only time you can play on the stuff is when somebody's
They're out
practicing
of
the
the
flight
business,
from.
they said. I even talked to them in
That is
Atlanta.
100%
See,
true.
the thing is,
Frito Lane,
you
Sundrop.
can't just do it around.
No, I agree.
Kids.
They wanna
go
play
like
when
to
there's not,
play.
no, I'm with you.
Exactly.
That's not the way it needs to be, that's just the way
Right.
it is, yeah.
Exactly.
So
That's
most people
why-
don't see the problem because they're up there when they're practicing.
Hmm.
It's when you're up there when nobody is practicing that the problem's apparent.
Mhm. Cause it's a lot, parents will take their kids up there just to practice with them.
Yeah.
And the siblings will play, so the lights around the playground need to be separate from, not dependent
Yes.
on the ball field.
No, I'm 100% with you, I agree with you 100%. And if we need to replace the ones we have, or put up poles with the solar ones, you know, which then lets you have the flexibility where to put them. We just need to make sure that we don't mess up the summer program with trying to install lights. So y'all come to us with what you need, and we'll support funding getting it done.
That's where I am.
Yeah.
I didn't know what they did. You know,
100%. Yeah, so I appreciate that, Margot. Any other thing?
Yeah.
You gonna hold on to it? All right. Mr. Ray, you also, do y'all, there's several of you there, I don't know if y'all were here together, or you?
No, I don't think it's time to be here. We're all together. Pastor had something going, he'd be here too. Chris Carter's supposed to be here too. I know that Chief Carter and his wife, they also help us. I just was gonna bring in the people that, because I know last year, I understand that there was a statement about questionable people with the Fearless or with our youth program. And I wanted people to start meeting the people that work in each of these age groups, so you can see there's no questionable I know where that came from. It was read on the internet from a few years back that something happened, because since then it's never happened. The guy was not good anyway, and he already went all the way out. It was him and another gentleman. He called him a very racial word, and he got hit in the face. So I had to fire the coach, and I had to take his badge and let him go. And that gentleman tried 3 straight years to sue because of it, and he's been thrown out of court, and everything's with the situationals. But my point is it's becoming a common thing that my name's coming up between the Fearless and contracts and all this good stuff. It's at a point to where, what do y'all have, you know, what's it with me? Y'all want something? I got a good question for you, Mr. Mims, as a counselor. Any other contractors been investigated or looked at their hours or looked at their situations since you started with me?
I haven't had any directing or people directing questions at me about stuff that's getting done.
Okay.
The last I heard, you were the one that was over the parks. That's why I questioned you.
Right. And if you see, I just kind of foresee things. They have people that do the maintenance. They have people that do all that stuff too, because there are circumstantials that we'll follow up with soon, I'm sure. Mr. Witt, I know that you and I talk personally. We know each other in a situation where I call you and actually speak with you. I hope I solved all the situations with the football, because right now, if we want to push it, the Elkmont Youth League should have been shut down 5 years ago.
The questions I have are more organizational. There's one site that has North Alabama Athletic Football, Youth Football. And it says we're not part of the North Alabama Youth League. And it renames it as North Alabama American Youth Football.
Okay.
Same acronym.
Well, one has 2 A's, one has 1.
No. 2 of them have 2 A's. One of them has 1 A. Then the American Youth Football League, I guess based out of Miami. So there was a nonprofit store I guess y'all are under in Huntsville, the Alabama Youth League, not the American Youth League.
No, we're under the National AYF is what we're in.
American Youth
We're the North Alabama AYF.
So there's so many moving parts. It's not HSL
Right.
or NCAA. These youth leagues are so many different things, and you have to ask questions about organizationally what does it consist of.
Correct. With that part, the other one you're talking about that tried to rename themselves after the National AYF programming, they are schools in areas that went together because they don't want weight, they don't want their child to tackle a bigger kid. They didn't want to go by football rules, so they made their own rules and set.
And the other concern about that is I found nothing with the IRS, Secretary of State expiring EIN. Even the probate office and license office in Armstrong County has no record of the organization. Those are my questions.
Which organization? I have the EIN and registered.
Whether it's Alabama Fearless, Elkhart Fearless, NAAYF, AYF. I won't get into the weeds now, they got other business to conduct, but I'm just saying, those are my questions.
Yeah, I have an EIN number for them. Yes, we're good on that underneath the National AYF. That was my whole point. Why have we not stepped up and did that to the Elkmont Youth League?
You're asking the wrong question.
But I'm saying, but look, I'm having taxes for me, because the fingers are pointing towards me. You know what I mean? You put lipstick on that pig, he's still a pig.
People was asking questions, it's not pointing at anybody.
Okay. But who's the common denominator?
Well, apparently it's Ray Akins who got in town 2 years ago. Was in Athens the year before, was in East the year before.
No, I moved here before my father, because my mother passed, and that's not the right years. We can go through the years if you want, Mr. Witt. We can handle the right portions. I left Athens because they started charging the kids $450 a Saturday just for the field, $100 per portal, and they had an unlocked door that you could use. But they locked it and made us buy portals. because they wanted money to keep feeding them for what they were building in that other building. And so it went that way. That's how that came up.
There's a lot
I
of,
live in Elkmont.
there's a lot of other moving parts to that.
Mhm.
I'm not gonna get into.
Mr. Akins, if you would introduce, I know you said you brought some coaches and members of the.
Yep.
This is youth league board members?
Yeah,
Here.
they're Elkmont Youth League, Elkmont.
Yeah, point on and let them introduce
He's
themselves.
with Elkmont Youth League, I'm with Elkmont Youth League. She's with Elkmont Youth League.
Names?
Brittany Williams, Caleb Williams.
Very.
He coaches football to help with the football.
Okay.
And Pastor
Corey,
Allen's
are
the other
you-
one for that
Are
either.
you on the Braves board?
Yes, sir, basketball commissioner, basketball, yes, sir.
Okay, all right, very good, okay. So
Bless your heart.
just want, you said you want to introduce.
8 years. I just want to feel your pain.
We've got a special place in there.
There you go.
All right,
In this facility, I want Elkmont to turn a corner in athletics. I think we got a new coach up here hired, we've been through so many administrators, so many coaches, got to start with the youth league. I want to help with this facility, to help the youth league, to help the high school as a feeder program, get people involved, and have something nice, and one of the kind of facility in the county that the youth league everybody. So I'm looking at creating a good feeder program for the high school, middle school. That's the whole point of this facility. You start with the youth league, we gotta start taking pride in our youth league programs, get people involved. It's kind of, Fife is a good example, right on Slab Mountain, all benefit. I mean, he picks his youth league coaches, they run with the high school runs, that way you're not relearning stuff. You have to learn stuff when you're 16 that you should learn when you're 6. That's one example.
yeah, I understand, that's all for youth league and other people to talk about.
Right, that's what I'm trying to kind of coordinate.
Well, depending on circumstance, you may not have any by then. You may not have any by the time you do that. You may not have youth leagues here at all. You got a lot of people leaving Elkmont on a weekly, daily basis.
All right, let's cut this off here.
Okay.
Anything else related to the town that, for town business, otherwise we wanna move on and call the, meeting
I'll
back in
offer.
session?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank y'all, you're welcome to stay. Joe and Corey, we're gonna get to y'all here in just a second.
Yes.
The reason we didn't go over y'all, because y'all need to be a part of the town business anyway. Matter of fact, you're first up on the list of old business on Wilson Stop, and I know we've got several items. I don't have them here with me with Tanya out, but, I've looked over them, Ron's looked over them, we just got some questions. I know Tanya reached back out to you guys to kind of get us a list. We're getting close to that point, if we're not there, where we're having to get about to the point where we're having to decide what's unique to what y'all wanna do versus what's building out of the standard building for use. So do y'all have anything?
So I got with the contractor last week, he said he could not have anything until tomorrow.
Okay,
The last two major things are the electrical and the plumbing finish. You have everything else.
When they don't, changing the.
They have the garage doors, they have everything,
Oh,
they have all the estimates. I've sent you a summary every time of what it is, what it costs, if it's completed, what's been paid, you know, so that'll keep you up to date to look at that quickly.
yes, I appreciate
See
that. I just think there's some things in there that we're getting updated that we haven't talked about, that talked about as needing update.
Oh, okay.
Like that, some of the exterior stuff was unaware that there were needs there, so we just need to discuss that. And Ronald, do you remember any of the details?
I thought it was 4 estimates that were on there, the doors, the garage doors,
Mhm.
a framing one,
Yes.
the HVAC, and then the soffit siding
Correct.
gutter estimate.
Correct.
That was the 4 estimates on that list. I wasn't sure, I didn't know we were doing something to the soffit gutters and siding.
I didn't either. I
So,
thought we were just doing the, like you were talking about, the eve, taking care of the masonite.
That, it's the things up in the, yes, you did know that, he walked us through that, and
I thought we
it's,
were taking down the masonite and putting up some type of hardy board or some sort.
yeah,
Yes,
that's not what was on there, did you see the estimate?
I haven't looked at it.
Okay. So yeah, there's, rotting up there in that they were gonna take that down and replace that because of the rotting. And then there are no gutters, I don't think, so they were gonna add gutters to keep it from washing everything off. The framing, we got that
Yeah,
question
there
fixed.
was no explanation as to what was happening on the framing. It just said framing, labor and material, but it didn't tell
So
what they were
I
doing.
attached all of those estimates and stuff, that y'all have those from, I sent that several times. And I
There's
can
no
send it again.
explanation to it.
There's pictures and everything. of
Not
the
in what I
framing.
got.
We
I
have
don't
any
know.
pictures,
I'll
Yeah.
send that again.
pictures of the frame, of what's,
Of
where
what
the
they're gonna
walls are
do.
going?
For the drive-through window, for the doors, and then I think for the garage doors, or the, walk-up window. They had, I've seen them, so if you don't have them, I apologize, but I
I've
will
seen
definitely send
the
this.
estimates, and I've seen the spreadsheet of the estimates,
Okay,
but I've not seen any detail of what, I mean, it's obvious what a garage door is, I think, and I saw there was, seat glass,
right,
so those,
right,
I think, those were what we'd already talked about.
okay,
I think there's some stuff in there we're just not,
yeah, I can
But-
get you details,
All right,
like
now
whatever
what-
you need,
there were a couple of things though, and now without all the paperwork in front of him, you're gonna have to help me.
okay,
The garage doors you need approved,
yes.
and there was another one that was like, these
So
are
right now,
like-
it's the framing that they're gonna do, yes. And that's the next big thing that he needs approved. And then he needs a garage door so he can go ahead and.
That's where I took it to me.
I'm sorry,
Jack asked me, was it inside framing?
inside framing, yes. For the walls, to do the electrical, to run the electrical through and everything. And we also talked to Justin, about the HVAC and how that's gonna affect everything, having, concrete walls, how that's gonna affect the AC system. And so that dude is knowledgeable and told us all about, the, open cell foam, the closed cell foam, and how that affects your HVAC and all of that. So that's where we're waiting to hear from the contractor on what he has agreed or has available to do to put in that framing to insulate the
Cause he was
building.
determined about laying like the stud flat against the wall versus laying it on the edge, just that much more insulation will do humongous. Which I don't know much about the R-value stuff, but,
They don't hardly even use it anymore.
really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So he's gonna build a
More
wall
about
inside a wall, is that where we're
Well,
going?
a wood wall inside
Kind
a
of
block
for
wall.
yeah.
So
So
you
there's
have
no way to
insulated wall.
run the electrical and all that without it being
Yeah,
exposed.
that makes good
They
sense.
should just put conduit or something up that wouldn't look too sharp.
No.
So Ronald had a sketch that we all looked at, and y'all had kind of worked
Yes.
together on. I guess we need to know, is that what we're doing, or are we doing something different from that?
It's basically the same thing, there's just a few things, like, I think Ronald had two, closets at the end of the hallway, we're not doing that. But I can definitely send you
Give us
the
an
sketch of what
update
the
of what.
contractor's working on right
Yeah.
now, yes.
Alright, so I think we can approve the doors, I think that's already, we know what that is, and I think
Okay.
that's perfectly, I think we totally understand that. I think we need to see the updated sketch, we need to get that to Ronald,
Okay,
and Ronald, if the council would agree, I would authorize you to make a determination on whether that can move forward once you see that.
Okay.
And then,
We would like to, if y'all would just start stewing on it, don't have to have an answer, and, we could have an answer 6 months to a year. But I know you want people vetted if you would possibly sell something where they would keep it up in town, that makes sense. But if you would possibly, rent to own or just outright sell that in time to come, once everything gets up and running, and, we would love the opportunity to do something like it, if y'all could think about that.
okay.
cause we really think, that would help the city out a lot, you get your money back plus some in what you've invested. And from what we're hearing from the town, they are ready. So, we've got about 30K invested in this, so it's not like we're just running in and not, that's a good chunk for us. So we're invested, and we want to do what's right, cause this is also our livelihood, so, it's important to us. So we would do the best that we
Sure.
could, but we would definitely love the option to buy it,
Okay,
and,
so I think we'll do a motion in just a second, we're back in regular session on the doors, and then we'll see if we can get a
and the
motion.
framing,
And then we'll see if we can get a motion to authorize
That'd be
Ronald to
great.
approve the framing,
yeah.
once he gets the sketch. And then, can everything else wait for 2 weeks until the next meeting, or is there
Yeah,
something?
yeah.
See why not?
I think so,
Okay, all right.
yeah.
Alright, so, I need a motion from the floor to approve the garage doors estimate that we've gotten from, Wilson
I'll
Stock.
motion.
Tony made a motion, we have a second. Tammy made a second. She's scribbling like crazy, but you're doing a good job, Tammy.
And second, that's it.
Should be second, you ain't got time to work both
Wait a minute, what
hands.
do we approve? Go back to that.
Garage door.
What did I
And
say?
framing,
Not the framing
Not
yet,
yet.
just garage
Garage
door.
door.
We're gonna do them one at a time.
Yeah.
All right, all in favor of that?
Tammy.
Motion carries, that's unanimous. Second motion we're looking for is to authorize Ronald, within the guidelines of the estimates that we have, to approve the framing, that's required for the interior. Do we have a motion for that?
Yes.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Tony second, all in favor? Motion carries.
Thank you.
All right, so
I
now,
have one more request.
sure,
The floors are done, so
I would love all of
Ronald,
us to look at those too and see what you think.
well, yeah, so if he could, or, sometime earlier this week, we can run down there, let you look at that, then we can get them paid and they're done. So, that
sure.
would be great.
Yeah, no, I'm in town.
Yep,
Fantastic.
yep, and checks will be out Friday.
Yes.
Assuming
yes.
Connie can get in her house and then make it.
Let's-
All right, marvelous. Do y'all have anything else?
I'm
No,
sorry.
you go ahead.
Just asking Ron, just a crazy question, but I mean, supposedly, what if you need to get a man lift or something there when they're carpentering? Is that okay on that resin floor after it seals or hardens to put something? Cause supposedly this guy said you can back in there and spin your tires, and I think, I don't know about that. Not that you wanna do that.
I would think you could, but I
Really?
mean, I don't,
'Cause it looks like.
It is
a big brother.
guaranteed, a lifetime guarantee on that floor, so.
I would think you could.
Okay. Alright, that's all.
Margaret, do you have a comment?
I just have a question, but it doesn't pertain to that, so let them finish first.
No, no, ma'am, I'm finished.
You guys finished?
Yes, we're done.
All right,
Thank
so
y'all.
we're in regular session at this point, but go ahead.
What is the status on getting policemen hired?
Working with Colin and also the sheriff to try to figure something out that's agreeable, that we think will make things better. We don't have a firm plan in place yet. We do have the county patrolling.
But
Okay,
they're not
regularly.
very much.
Yeah, well,
Did we get a hard number back from the, I can't remember if we did or not.
no, they're having, if you remember, they're in a big push to hire themselves. And
Okay,
so
that's right, I
they're only,
remember that now, yeah.
the sheriff's only concern is that whether he'd be able to hire for us when he's having a hard enough time just hiring deputies to cover the county.
Right.
And then to commit to hiring, say 2 more in addition to that and create an Elmont sector just for that. He's not sure he's gonna be able to hire enough people to make that happen. So been working with Colin on that too, to try to reach find some sort of happy medium. We can pay, off-duty police, we can pay them separately to come and do patrolling for us here from the county. But that's a temporary option, it's not really a permanent option. So trying to find that kind of sweet spot of what would be the best. We don't really have an answer yet.
So you don't wanna hire somebody like we've had in the past with Jack and Johnny, and
May?
you don't wanna do that?
No.
Is that what you're saying?
No, not saying that. Say we may. We may.
Well, with Colin, is there a potential where it would be a county employee, not necessarily working for the sheriff department, but not for Elmont?
Well, that was Colin working with the sheriff is trying to figure out the best way to do a contract with the town.
Okay,
That's what it amounts to. And I guess the sheriff's department, independent as they are, still fall under Limestone County. So that whole thing gets all convoluted, and getting that straightened out seems to be harder than I would have thought.
okay.
But in the end, what I'm worried about is that the sheriff will then, when all is said and done, say, but I don't know that I can hire enough to have, 2 shifts instead of 1 per day in Elmont, which is what I think we would like. I think we'd like to have at least 2 shifts per day, if we could, in town. But yeah, we're open to ideas, open to hiring, we may end up just having to drop back and hire somebody. And then, but the sheriff will have to, we need them to be responsible for administering all the stuff that the police is supposed to do. Donnie did it for years and years, so he kind of knew what to do. But I think you hire somebody you don't know much about them, you're kind of putting yourself out there at risk a little bit without having them under somebody's supervision that's.
Yeah, I think ideal it would be to get the sheriff's department, and then they're just kind of contracted to us, and if for some reason it's you know, we think there's not doing a good job, whatever, then it's just, hey, sheriff, we're not happy, send us somebody else, right?
Exactly.
You know,
Yeah, that's right. All right, next on old business, we have the warehouse pizza roof. Ronald, there was a note in here, but then I also saw something come through, looks like it's making
Yes.
progress.
They're finished, but they have to let the people who sell them the materials have to come inspect it, and that sets the warranty. So they're waiting on that group to come inspect it. But as far as the work goes, I mean, I guess they could find something, so maybe I can't say it's completely done, but it's basically finished.
Yeah, that's marvelous. So that's all of our roofs that we're working on at the moment are complete. Okay, all right, very well. Okey doke. All right, any other old business come before council?
The doors are in
Oh, yeah,
for the bathroom and over at Jada's building, and Chris Smith was gonna get on them middle of the week, this week.
okay.
He was working on some other stuff, said if everything goes like I think, I'll get on them. And Flanagan has agreed to, like the one over at Jada's, take it off that morning and take it down there, and they will measure everything, bore all the holes and everything else, and have it back by lunch. So she won't, her store will be closed up.
Yeah,
And over here, I told Chris, we'll just take a 4-bag sheet of plywood and put 4 screws in it. When they get that one fixed, they get it fixed.
yeah.
He was saying that the hardware that's on that thing is not, did we want to put the same hardware back?
No, as far as the door
Yeah.
locks and stuff?
Yeah.
No, I'm fine
The
with
same
that.
kind. I mean, something that just blend, we don't want a shiny brass knob on that old.
Oh, that, I thought you
Something
meant
that
that funny kind of old block, you know, that's actually external. No, I
Yeah.
didn't want that, but, no.
Anything that was good in keeping with the taste of the
Keep it
building.
taste of it, yeah, right,
Right.
exactly,
Okay,
yeah.
okay.
Yeah, absolutely. So that'd be good. You know, we bought, and I don't know where it is, Lord, I don't know if we know where it is now. But we bought a closure, you know, we'd already bought a closure for that door, so that when we did get one, it would, people wouldn't leave it wide open and that heater run all night, you know, trying to keep the water from freezing, but, anyway, we'll need to add that to it if we can't find it.
Talked to the owning people, I called them, told them that I was getting chewed on by the owner of the dress shop over here, and they needed to come, you know, with that. And they apologized, they said they had a couple of big jobs, but they said they'd get with me pretty soon. So, be sure to relay that.
I will.
Okay. But anyway,
All right, that's very good. Any other old business?
I would like to say the new venue over here is great. I don't know if who's been in it, but, they had the open house and then they had a game night for a bunch of ladies, and it's so attractive and it really adds to the beauty of the town, and they're doing a great job.
That is wonderful. I was out of town the whole time when that was happening, and I'm not on Facebook, but Kelly was telling me about it, and I said, gosh, I wish we could have been there to see that, so that's neat.
It's beautiful. They're doing a great job.
Well, good.
They're gonna keep it looking really nice.
Yeah, you know, it'll be a different time of day, right? So most of that stuff's gonna be in the afternoon, evening, so it's kind of different. You know, other than eating at night, all of a sudden now you're gonna generate a little bit of foot traffic at different hours of the day. You don't know what that might, it might lead to something else then because of that. So I think that's all good. It's wonderful. Love seeing the businesses in town filled, for sure, the buildings. Okay, any new business, anybody?
What's y'all's protocol as far as, y'all look at these packets I've given you and crunch the information at home and look at it? What, do y'all have a vote on that at some point, say, yeah, we'll support this or not? What is y'all?
Not necessarily,
Or we'll say, no, we're not on board with it, or?
well, we've had, this has come up multiple times. Anything like this, of course, it wouldn't be for the school, it would be for the town, so it would be not football, baseball, it could be for football, baseball, but it would also be for,
Anything you need?
anything you need, that kind of stuff, so.
Based on the West Limestone.
Yeah, I understand that's what theirs is, but, so we're a little bit different because we're not tied to a youth league, we're tied to a municipality, which would be for, but it's still the same concept. This has come up many times, nobody has ever really been able to put anything together that, you know, to bring it home. I think the summer program is, you know, we need somebody to lead it, I guess I'd say. The summer program made a crack at it. We had another group of people really not even associated with the summer program, but associated with the school, trying to figure out a way to do something, but then,
That's
you
what I'm
know,
trying to
couldn't
coordinate.
restrict it couldn't restrict it to just the school. So I think it's something that we are supportive of the idea of building a building, and we have been. We just don't have, the details and of what it would be and who's gonna pay for it.
Even the baseball coach today told me, if they was at Westmore, I just had the pole barn at $15,000, it gives them something, but I'd like to do something nice for long term for everybody,
Mhm.
like I've got there, so.
Yeah.
And if Ray can get me that EIN, that answers a lot of questions for youth league. I look it up, and people are asking me questions, it's only for 30 years, and I'm asking questions, but I don't be as a football guy or whatever.
Mhm.
That makes sense.
And my
So what
question-
part are we looking
We'll
at,
talk about
the
that.
land?
Yeah, our
Is that
interest in this would be, if, you know, cause it seemed like when Jesse was pursuing this, the main thing was they were trying to get it off the school property. Cause the school, if it's on the school property, then they're restricted to whatever school rules are about practicing or whatever, so it's, what we were trying to obligate, kinda like the rural village did for the elementary school, was the property. You know, we would set aside enough ground space for somebody to build a building, but everybody's wanted to build a building so far, it's thought that they were gonna own it when they got done, and they're not. The town's gonna own it, and we're gonna do with it whatever we want to. That's the rules of the game, so that kind of discourages people, and I understand that. But that's all, that's our obligation to folks that aren't, you know, playing football or whatever.
And that had to be managed, you know, because he's one of the problems they
Oh,
have,
yeah.
folks coming in, so we wanna do, you know,
Sure.
train their kids and charge a
Yeah.
fee, and like, wait a minute, no, we got.
Yeah, I know, yeah, absolutely, so, I think it'll all get, you know, somebody will come up with a plan that works sooner or later, I think. You know, minus 7 feet, we have a spot, we think will be a pretty good spot for it, at the on that end of the sidewalk, maybe.
I think that plan I gave you will work.
All right, any other business come before the council? Have a
I'll
motion
offer.
adjourned, Ronald,
I'll second.
Jack second, all in favor? Motion carries. All right, thank y'all very much.